All right, we're going to start. So thank you everyone for joining us. Those who have already, make sure you can hear us. Of course, if you can't, there's no way you can know that I just said that and see your screen. What we're going to cover today take about 25, 30 minutes. What we like to do in these sessions, I'm sorry, Lee, say hi. Lee has joined us today
Yep.
as well.
Hey, everybody.
So what we like to do in these sessions, we're not going to go deep in any particular feature. We like to take these webinar opportunities and actually just remind folks. Since January, we've probably launched, last count, over 537, many small but new features in the platform. So we're always updating the platform. It's difficult to communicate and convey all of those. So frankly, what we like to do besides these webinars is the best of our ability let folks know the bigger features that are available and at least make you aware that they're available to you. Not everyone on the session is going to be interested in all of the features we're going to cover today. However, we might hit one or two items that you weren't aware of, and we of course would insist and be happy to schedule follow-up sessions to go deeper into anything we covered today. All right, so to begin, what we're going to show, that's so cute, I didn't know that. All right, what we're going to cover today are some real simple features, but the reason we're going to touch upon them, these two or three are very common requests. A lot of folks have asked us, could you please do this? So we want to make sure that you're aware that a couple of these simple features on the platform, including now the ability to charge for bulk delivery. That has been a pretty common request. Second, we're going to show you another common request. Why is it when someone orders a particular color of an item, that's not the color that appears on their order receipt? So we now have, admittedly, it's a step one tool solution for that, where you can set it up so the actual color of the item that someone ordered is actually on their order receipt. A lot of folks use order receipts, standard receipts, to do their fulfillment. So, of course, it'd be helpful to see the actual color of the item that somebody ordered. Then we'll get into some of the bigger features. Some that we've launched in the last month, two or three, that are fairly new, and frankly, some that may have been in the platform that we've enhanced recently, but a significant number of folks may not be aware that we even have these particular features, okay? So to begin, we're going to start with the bulk delivery.
All right. So right now we're in the store settings section of Spirit Store. So we're going to go down to the delivery methods area. And it's going to be here that we can enable bulk delivery. So what you'll notice when you enable bulk delivery now is the ability to add a bulk rate. So you can include a flat rate when customers select the bulk delivery option at checkout. So you can now upcharge for bulk delivery specifically. This will still include the handling fee, sales tax. Those two store fees will still apply automatically.
And as long as you're there, remind folks that you can call the handling fee whatever you want as well.
Yes, that's true. So if you leave this blank, it will be called a handling fee. But otherwise, you can enter right here where it says handling fee title and change that to whatever name you want.
So it used to be we had a lot of requests. I need to charge for bulk delivery. A small portion of the cost is going to take me to put that in the big box and ship it out to them. So we would advise folks, you could actually set that up as a handling fee. Call it a bulk delivery fee if you wanted to. Now we give you both options. So the handling fee is still there. Call it whatever you want. If you want to apply any extra charge to any order, you can. But in addition, you can now charge for bulk delivery if you so choose. And Lee, as long as we're there, just mention the shipping enhancements that we did.
Sure. So with shipping, in addition to flat rate, so if they were to choose shipping at checkout, it would charge whatever flat rate, and range, where you can set up a multi-tier option. You can add however many tiers you want, up to a certain amount. You could even make the shipping free. So if I go to this free option now, you can actually have it set up so that after it goes above a certain amount in the cart, it'll make the shipping free. So that's kind of a new option. And then you can also set a percentage rate for shipping now, which is something they used to only be able to do for handling, but you can do it for shipping now as well. Okay, so next we're going to go into assigning specific images to order receipts and reports. So we're going to go into the catalog, and we're editing a specific product here. So it's under the variability tab. where you'll see this option to the right of any color that you're adding to a product. You can assign a specific image to represent that color. So if we click on that, it'll bring up all the images that are available for that product, and you can check to enable whichever one you want to show for that color. So should the customer select this on the store, they'll choose from the drop-down list of colors. This navy shirt would now appear.
And where does it appear?
So not only does it appear inside the product when they're selecting the color, but it'll also appear on the order receipts and the reports. So on the order receipt they get emailed, they'll see that they selected a navy shirt versus, you know, whatever other primary image you had for the product. All right,
What's next?
so we're going to go into our new corporate store types.
So Kirk, this is all right. So a lot of you don't know, this is the next evolution. Some of you on this call may know that we have a very advanced feature in the TUO platform that actually, it's called the roster-driven feature, in which if you do have a roster for any organization, a large sports club, a lacrosse club, a soccer club, we do have a means of setting up what we call roster-driven stores. There are a lot of functionalities to that. The biggest advantage is it solves the problem of how do I get my store link out to each individual. So over the last year and a half, we've certainly recognized, and quite a few people even on this session, have been using the TUO platform that was designed for sports, but you're using it for corporate apparel. So about 3 or 4 months ago, we launched this feature. It is a store type that is specifically designed from the ground up to work specifically with companies that you might be doing business with to do their corporate apparel. So the reason I went through the roster background is it's similar technology that drives our roster feature for the team side, the club and team side. We've adapted that, enhanced it greatly, and now it works for corporations. Now, very important point. It requires that you get an email list, first name, last name, email list. So it does require you get an email list from the company for whom you're offering to set up the online store. The store itself will look similar. This is actually a corporate store sample we set up for Porsche dealership. All right, so store looks the same. What we're going to show you now is actually the back end of the system. So I've just done a deal with this Porsche dealership, or 5 or 6 or 7 of them, different locations. They want to make Porsche branded promotional products, apparel available to their employees. So Lee, take us through the back end. Tell us how it works.
Yep. So similar to a club store, if any of you are familiar with that, you do have multiple divisions as far as different lists of individuals. In this case, we have employees that can be invited to shop in the store. So in this case, we have 180. In this particular one, we're going to actually view that list. You can have different managers assigned to those different lists to maintain them.
So this works across, by example, a company that might have multiple locations, a company that might have multiple divisions or groups. So no limit to how many locations, and you'll be able to separate and distinguish the employees that fall under the group, fall under the different location.
Yep, and you can also set the balance across all of the employees or individual ones, so we can select individually which employee we want to change.
So this is a very important point. So every employee that you upload, you do not have to do this, but it is very common in corporate apparel, in which you're going to give each employee an allowance to spend in the store. So the company is going to pay for a certain amount. Not only can you take and allocate very easily how much each employee gets to spend in the store, but you can actually go in and make it different, a different value for every employee. So in this particular example here, everyone's been given the same opportunity to go in and spend $300 in the online store. In that example, your client, the company, is going to pay for it. But we're giving you the means to be able to sell it, to make those items available to the employees, and of course track which employee used their stipend, as we call it, or didn't. So you proceed, Lee. I'm going to make a couple other points at the back end.
Sure. Yeah, so individually, these employees can be selected. They can also be selected all at once. So if you need to change the balance across all employees at one time, you'd simply click this Manage Employee Balance button. And then you could either add or subtract certain amounts, or you could just assign a brand new amount. So that's what we'll do, is assign a brand new amount. Get rid of that minus sign. Okay, so we'll go back into the dashboard now. And so for viewing this employee list, it should be 250 now. Yep. Yeah, I was going to select for a few specific employees and change their balance just so that you could see that the balance could be different from employee to employee. So we'll set these to 150 and assign. Yep, so you can see the balance can be different depending on the individual.
So this dashboard you're looking at, you can in turn make it available to your client. So let's say you're working with a procurement person at a company, and they want to be able to go in and monitor how much monetary value each employee has been given. You can actually, what you're looking at can be accessible to your client as well. Now, what if I want to fire an employee? What do I do?
Yeah, so you can delete individuals from the list as well.
We should put that as fire instead of delete. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so that's also possible. You can modify this list. You can go in and edit the employee settings if their email's different, or if you need to, maybe there's a typo in their name, so you can modify this list as needed.
So I just had 5 new people join my company this week. What do I do?
So you can also add new employees manually. So you can do it on an individual basis. But you can also import. So if you have a list of individuals that need to be imported, you can start here in this import data section. And this is where you can get the sample file. So it gives you a template to go off of, and then you can upload here.
All right, so back to the main dashboard. A couple other questions or actually clarifications. Number one, the amounts that you're looking at currently under the balance, 150 and 250, those update in real time. So as an employee comes into a store and they use up their allotment, once they check out, the allotment will decrement, as the term is, the exact amount that they've used up in the store. Obviously, when they get down to 0, they won't be able to buy anything. No, that's not true. So second very important point in corporate stores is the fact that each employee is given the option not only to use points or not, but if they use up all their points, they can still check out and buy additional items above the value using their credit card. It's called split payment. It's a pretty complex functionality, not only to track in real time each individual and how much they've spent, but actually to go in and give the shopper the option to be able to have a certain portion of their order taken off of the allotment and have a certain portion of their order they're going to pay for with a credit card. Oh, okay. So if that's something that interests anybody on this call, definitely let's schedule a follow-up session. Let's go through it in greater detail. We're probably creating as many questions as we're answering, but it is a very powerful tool. And very frankly, in the first 3 or 4 months that we've offered it, we're actually stunned at how many of our clients are actually using the tool. Now, be aware, you're not going to find this in your dashboard. So if you go to log in, you might call us and say, I can't find my corporate store types. It's something that we activate on a dealer-by-dealer basis. Simple reason for that is that there's a lot to it. There's a lot of functionality to it. And we want to make sure that we do proper training and proper preparation before we actually just go in, turn it on, and say, good luck, let us know how it works for you.
So we're inside of a product yet again. This time we're showing the manual inventory option. So
a little bit of background.
Okay.
Anybody on this call use manual inventory or even know it exists? So in the last 3 or 4 months, it's probably top 5 most common daily requests we get. In fact, we got, I think, 4 or 5 yesterday. I have a certain number of items that I'm very limited how many I have in stock or I feel comfortable selling. So I need a mechanism to make sure I don't sell more than I have in stock. So this feature has been around for well over a year. And again, we activate it on a dealer-by-dealer basis. But now we're trying to get more people aware that it's there because, frankly, probably about 20% of our clients know that it's even in there. The rest don't even know that it's in there. And it's a simple, basic way where you can actually make sure you don't sell any more of any one item that you have in an online store. So we call it manual inventory. All right, Lee, thank you.
Yeah, so any specific combination of color and size that you have, you can set an inventory count for. So if we scroll down, we're in the variability tab of this product. You'll see inventory. So once this is enabled for your account, you'll see this option to, well, first off, make sure that this is turned on where it says activate product variability. Because if this is set to no, then you have an overall price for the product. So you'll need to set this to yes. Then you'll need to set variable pricing, turn that on, and then manage inventory. You'll want this turned on as well. But for all the different size and color combinations, you can put in quantities. So if this starts to go below 5, you'll see that it indicates that it's a lower amount and that you should, start considering to restock. You'll notice that on the catalog, it'll say that you have low inventory. If this goes to 0, then this size and color combination will automatically disable.
And disable means it drops off the store.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some practical use cases, and it happens. I just want to make you aware. So it happened actually several times last week in a few stores. A shopper went in, they ordered an item that was actually very few available, limited availability. They checked out. The next day they decided, you know what, I don't want that item. So they contacted the TUO customer support team, and the TUO customer support team canceled that item in their shopping cart. When that happens, that goes back into the inventory that's available. So it is fluid, it's in real time. So common questions are, how come I had 0 yesterday and there's 2 today? So think about it from the perspective of this is a live store. People are doing a lot of different things. They're adding it to their cart. They're not checking out. So this.
How long does it stay in their cart?
Well, it stays in their cart until they close out their shopper. So they can start on their browser. They can drop it in the cart, and they can not check out. It'll stay in their cart. However, it won't take it out of inventory until they check out.
Okay.
So the fact that it's sitting in their cart does not mean that product is not available. As soon as they check out, it decrements again one more time. But so they checked out and they ordered it. It took one of those items off the availability. But as I mentioned, the next day they reach out to us and say, you know what, I want to cancel that order. It'll put it back into the inventory availability. So it's fluid.
Now, does the manage inventory have to go across all items on that store?
No, not at all. So this is primarily used when I know I've got one size, one color, two size, two colors of a standard SKU that I'm a little skittish. I don't have a lot in stock. So you do not have to, you can say, you know what, I'm pretty confident for all of these sizes and colors I have for this SKU. I'm going to go up and turn off manage inventory. So Lee's going to uncheck the checkbox and go, you know what, I don't have to worry about it. Again, if it's something you do want to activate, reach back out to us. We'll do a very brief session on how it works, and we'll turn it on for your account.
All right, so next we're going to go into the dealer reports, and this is from the homepage.
What's the dealer reports? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so these are the collective reports across multiple stores that you can use.
Wait, I didn't know it. We have dealer reports? All right.
Yep.
I'm not being sorry, but again, not everyone knows this because most people use store reports. We also have a whole dashboard for reports where you can pull information across multiple stores, multiple timeframes. So the dealer report dashboard, standard reports where you can pull aggregated data across multiple stores.
Yeah, and in this case, we're looking at the customer contact report, which will include first name, last name, and email are the main pieces that you want from this. So that's going to be across all stores. And you can also check all archive stores as well. But from there, we have these two options where you can send all of these contacts to your MailChimp or Constant Contact lists.
All right. So how many people on this call, I'm going to anticipate no one's going to answer. How many people actively do any email marketing at all? Anyone brave enough to say yes or no?
I do a minimal amount through corporate.
Okay. Because again, it's not a commentary at all, but probably the biggest missed opportunity that the majority of our clients have is the fact that you've got customers coming through a TUO store, opening their wallets, spending $150, $65, doing that multiple times throughout a year. They're doing business with you. They like the products you're offering, and they never hear from you again. So we are big believers in what we call remarketing. We've even done past webinars. We're probably going to do a future webinar in the next couple of weeks on the subject of remarketing. And it's a simple idea that it doesn't take a lot to do. And the simple idea is, what if I could actually accumulate everyone I've done business with through a TUO store and give them additional opportunities to buy more stuff from me? So the customer contact report in the TUO system could be the most valuable report of all the other reports that you'll pull from TUO, because that's your customers. So we do work a lot, and increasingly more and more, with our dealers, help them get basic email marketing programs set up. Help reach back out to that customer base who spent money with you. And by the way, you don't have to ask them to buy more stuff. Just keep in touch with them. I want to let you know that we're launching a new product in the next month. So the more this base of customers you communicate to them, the greater future opportunity you have to actually set up an online store and sell more stuff to them. I'll tell you a quick story. I'll keep it brief. Finally convinced a client about 1.5 years ago, keep accumulating this customer file. Frankly, we were doing it somewhat manually, doing extracts and exports, helped them set up the email marketing program. Started out at 50,000, went to 100, went to 150, got close to about 350,000 customers over the course of 1.5 to 2 years. That's a lot. At the end of last year, we set up a sequence of 3 different holiday stores based upon what people had bought in TUO stores. And it drove probably over $100,000 of additional sales that they otherwise never would have seen. Simply by staying in touch with their customers, setting up private stores for these customers, and inviting them to come in and shop throughout the holiday season. So the feature that we set up about 6 months ago that we know most people don't know exists is we can help you set up an email marketing program. That's pretty easy to do. The second piece is the two most common email software programs are MailChimp and Constant Contact. So once set up, you have a tool that we can activate in your account as well, where when you go in to pull your customer contact information, let's say you have a MailChimp account, we've helped you set it up. With one click, you can automatically import all that customer data into your email software, MailChimp in this example. So as I've said consistently in the session, if anybody their interest is piqued, they will say, hey, I would like to learn more. I'd like to figure out how to set up the building blocks to do that in the future. Again, feel free to reach back out to us. We'll set up a separate session. There are some folks on this call we're already doing that for, as a matter of fact, in which we're getting them set up to do real basic email marketing. All right. So again, purpose of these webinars, make you aware of features you may or may not be aware of, make you aware of maybe business opportunities like email marketing you may not be aware of. But most importantly, if there is a subject, an area that you'd like to learn more, please do use that connect button. Upper right corner of your dash, you won't crash the internet. That's an easy way to connect with us. And on that top section right there, the last box, if you ever want to schedule a one-on-one session with us on any topic, the only request we have is give us about 24-hour notice. We do get a lot of people who click and say, I need a session right now. Doesn't quite work that way, because sometimes we're doing other sessions or we're doing other things. So give us a day's notice, click on a session, let us know what topic you'd like to cover. We'd be more than happy to do sessions with you.